Market machinations. We don't talk enough about them. Stuff happens. I'm not gonna use a swear word. It's a family YouTube channel, kind of. So, but stuff happens, especially nowadays. There's a lot of moving and shaking in the wine industry, a lot of consolidation, a lot of distributor consolidation, a lot of big brands being sold. This guy sold for $1 billion, this guy sold for 800 million, this guy sold for 200 million. A lot of gobbling up of companies, a lot of moving parts. And we and you, or maybe the all of us benefit from that by all these wines kind of slipping through the cracks. Bits and pieces, not moving here, this guy not picking up this wine from this distributor, this wine, we don't care too much about that because we have this other bigger brand we have to worry about, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is a year where we will really benefit from that. Wonderful opportunities abound in 2024 because of this moving and shaking, because of these corporate machinations, because of big businesses, especially spirits related, looking at the bottom line and going like that, no, not looking at that. And we have a little bit of that today, but we don't know the exact reasoning behind it. So I'm not gonna point fingers, I'm not gonna assume something went one way or the other, because we don't know the exact meaning or what really went behind the scenes with this particular machination in the market. What we do know is we have one of the great, profound, iconic wines from Chianti Classico in a great vintage with a monster score at 50% off today. That's kind of what we need to know. This is just a silly, stupid, ridiculous deal. This is the Fonterutoli Chianti Classico 2019 from the Mazzei family. We love the Mazzei's family wines. They have been an anchor in our business since the early 1990s. It was one of the first great Chianti estates I glommed onto early in my wine buying career. I remember buying the 1990 Fonterutoli Chianti Classico for the store back in 1993. And of course, Steve going like, what the hell is this? And having to explain kind of what's going on. And they were the new kids on the block and they were the hot guy. And well, time's passed. It's, 30 years have gone by. Wow. And Fonterutoli is still one of the hottest producers out there. They make amazing wines from their vineyards in Castellina and Chianti. And we've been privileged enough to sell them for 3 decades now. Wow, 3 decades, amazing. The 2019 fell into our lap. Basically, this is a situation where we had one of those movements, right? Moving from one place to another, certain distributors or agents, etc. And this wine kind of got caught up in the shuffle, and we are stoked that it did. Now, if you'll notice, I pre-decanted this wine because unlike some of those other wine shows that you see, we're not gonna have you stand here and watch me decant a bottle of wine and then immediately pour it in my glass. No, this was decanted 20 minutes ago because 20 minutes is about all you need for the 2019 Fonterutoli to really show its stuff. This is a gorgeous wine with just a touch of air. The wine explodes. We see this once in a while with certain wines that if you air it just for a bit, the wines detonate. And especially with Sangiovese, if you ever drink a great Brunello di Montalcino, et cetera, a little decanting goes a long way. These wines can just go poof. And so it is with the Fonterutoli 2019. This is a gorgeous wine, 90% Sangiovese. The balance made up of Malvasia, Colorino, and I think a touch of Merlot in here. I'm seeing different reports on what the final 10% is. We definitely know Malvasia, Nera, and Colorino, but there might be a little touch of Merlot in here as well. So basically 2019 is I think a really, really outstanding vintage in Chianti Classico. Maybe a stitch behind 16 or 10, but up there in the top 3 or 4 vintages of the decade for Chianti Classico. And this wine is a prime example of that. Gorgeous, beautiful color here. The Fonterutoli folks, the Mazzei folks, they age this wine in French barrels, larger French barrels, for just a specific amount of time that they need to. But these neutral French barrels really impart kind of refined, I'm not gonna say modern, that's wrong, because this wine's not oaky, but I would say just more refined, elegant character to this really kind of sweet, quietly structured fruit in Castellina. Castellina is a beautiful area, and the fruit from this area tends to manifest kind of like middle of the road. It's not as aggressive as Rada Greve, not as fat as Castelnuovo Beredenga and those types of areas. This is a kind of a, almost like Panzano, like a just right, type of place for great Chianti Classico. And boy, you have it right here. That blossomy nose of red cherry fading into the dark cherry. You get herb, you get a little earthy note, you get the spice, you get all of it, right? But the thing is, you get more and more of it as the wine continues to aerate. This is a wine that I had a bottle 2 nights ago. It just kept giving and giving throughout the evening, although it didn't last that long because there were 3 of us, and a bottle with 3 folks tends to disappear pretty quick in our neck of the woods. So, but over those 45 minutes that we were enjoying the bottle, it just kept getting better and better and better. And that's what you want to see with any wine, whether it's Bordeaux, Chateauneuf, Chianti Classico, it doesn't matter. You want to see these wines just kind of do this number. And boy, this little number did exactly that. Beautiful textbook Chianti Classico. Man, where's the Ossobuco? Where's the Bolognese? Come on! Like legit. Beautiful, beautiful wine. Gorgeous. What else do you need to know about this? Oh, 96 points from Decanter in the World Wine Awards. A little something there, huh? And again, as we talked about in the past with the World Wine Awards, these are all MSs, MWs, professionals in their respective category of expertise. So the people reviewing the Chianti Classicos actually know about Chianti Classico. They sell tons of it. They taste hundreds of them. So what you're getting from the Decanter World Wine Awards on a blind tasting basis is something utterly unique in the wine world. 96 points. It was the 2nd highest rated Chianti Classico in their tastings back in 2021. The 2 or 3 wines that were ahead of it all sold for, at their normal retail, all sold for 2 to 3 times the price. So again, we want to bring this home. 96 points, iconic estate, beautiful vintage, tasting great. Originally $30 full retail, we're rolling it out at $15. This wine at $15 is, it's stupid. I mean, good Lord, I put it in a decanter for God's sakes, right? This is real wine, real wine at a truly remarkable price. So enjoy it while it lasts. It might not last long. Get yours now, buy it by the case. Thank you very much, and good night.